guys, welcome back. So for today's video I have this very bright orange makeup tutorial perfect for the spring. It is something that is very out of my comfort zone. I usually stick to warm shades, very neutral shades with a basic wing liner and probably a bold lip. But this is not my typical makeup at all. I just kind of wanted to play around and see what I came up with. I surprisingly do like how it looks. I like stepping out of my comfort zone, playing around with shades, getting inspired by so many pictures that I see, so many videos, and just kind of coming up with my own thing. If you guys want to see more tutorials, please let me know in the comments below. Or if you want to see more videos on makeup techniques or tips and tricks or more challenges I've done with my boyfriend, please let me know. I want to basically create videos that you guys do want to see because I do have fun filming and I want more ideas and more inspiration. So please leave me comments down below. Let me know. Give me a big thumbs up if you do end up liking this video. Also subscribe to me if you haven't already. That way you're notified every time I do post a video. I post twice a week. I post Mondays and Fridays. So I do hope you guys end up liking this look. If you do want to see how I accomplished it, please keep on watching. So I did my eyebrows off of camera just to save a little bit of time from the video, that way it's not too long. But if you do want to see how I accomplished my eyebrows, I will leave my tutorial link down below. I typically start off with my eye makeup before I do my face because I don't want any fallout from the eyeshadow to really mess up my foundation or anything. But today I'm just gonna switch it up and start off with my face instead. So to begin, I'm gonna go ahead with the Smashbox PhotoFinish primer, and this is one of my favorite primers. It's pretty much the only primer I use. I do want to try new primers, but I feel like sometimes I have pretty sensitive skin and it'll just really mess up my skin. So we're just gonna put that all over the face. I kind of rub it in first and then I'll just kind of pat it in, that way it could really soak into my skin. You never want to really skip primer because that is the barrier between your skin and your foundation. So once I do have my primer in, I'm just going to kind of let that soak into my skin for a minute or two before I go in with my foundation. So for foundation, I'm going to use my favorite foundation that I've had for a while now, and it's the Milani Conceal and Perfect. Ever since I got this foundation, I've been using it non-stop. I have normal to dry skin. Sometimes I'll get really bad dry patches like I do now. Like all of this part of my skin is super dry. And what I love about this foundation is that it doesn't cling onto that and it doesn't emphasize it. So I'm just gonna let's do a pump, and I'll just kind of dot that on my skin. It depends how much coverage I want for the day, and that'll kind of determine if I use one pump or two. But I'll see how this is. Down my neck, you always want to blend it down to your neck, that way your foundation doesn't look like a mask on your face. That way everything blends in seamlessly and your makeup does look like your skin and it doesn't look like you're wearing makeup. So I'm gonna go in with my Real Techniques buffing brush. I like doing it in little circular motions. Now everything's blended in really nicely. And I like working in sections as well. I'll kind of do circular motions and I'll kind of press it in. Just kind of like what I did with the primer, just to really make it go into my skin and blend in seamlessly. You're also going to want to blend it to your ears as well. And right this little back part, you just want everything to be the same shade. When you are putting on foundation, you just want to keep on blending and blending. If you think you're done blending, blend some more. Because that's the best way. That way you don't have any weird spots, and you still have some unmixed foundation, unblended foundation, or spots that don't have any foundation at all, or something's a little bit more pigmented than the other. I'm going to be using the It Cosmetics by Under Eye. I don't know how I feel about this concealer, honestly. It's so thick that I feel like it's really hard to blend, especially personally on my skin at least. Because people rave about this concealer all the time, but I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how I feel about it. But I'm going to be using it in the shade Tan. I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand and just kind of warm it up since it's so thick. And hopefully that gives me a better application. Okay. Just kind of put that in a triangle or triangular shape. Since I have a rounder face, I don't like bringing the concealer in too much here because that's going to make my face look rounder. I do want to look more slimmer, so kind of bring the triangle down, if that makes any sense. I'm going to get that same concealer, kind of put it on my nose to highlight that. Just a little bit on my chin. Okay, and I'm just going to blend that in with my Real Techniques sponge. I do have it extremely damp because I feel like that's the best way to really blend in any foundation, any concealer. Okay, let's see how it works under here. When blending in your concealer with a sponge, I like going back and forth, like to the right, and then I'll go back to the left and just go back and forth because it's really going to help press it into all your little fine lines that you have under there, and it doesn't settle into one spot. I'm going to use the Ofra Cosmetics banana powder using my Real Techniques contour brush. I'm just going to dip into that, tap off the excess. Just really going to get that there. I'm going to just tap it on. What the banana powder does, what the banana powder does, not only does it set it, but since it is a yellowy shade, it brings brightness to that under eye. It brings brightness to that under eye and wherever else you do put it. Just gonna place that wherever I put the concealer. So now I'm gonna bronze up my face using the Tarte Park Ave Princess. Using the Tarte Amazonian Clay Bronzer in Park Ave Princess. It has a nice little shimmer sheen to it, so it's not really used to contour. I'm going to be using the Luxie 512 small contour brush. Just going to dip it in there, tap off the excess. I kind of like going from my ear right about there. And I'm just going to place it and go in little circular motions, or like little oval motions. Same thing, top of my ear, kind of bring it diagonally. And do little oval motions. I'm also going to put some of that around my temples. I want to blend that out. Same on the other side. You're basically going to be doing a 3 shape. You're going to go your temples, your cheekbone, and then your jawline. I do have a bigger forehead, so I'm going to put just a little bit right on top of there, just to make my forehead look a little bit smaller. And then now we're going to go to the jawline. You don't want to put on a crazy amount of bronzer because you don't want to look like you have a beard or weird 5 o'clock shadow around your jawline. But you just want to create a little nice shadow to really hide that double chin. Want to bring it down to the neck as well. I will lightly kind of do it on the sides of my nose, not really to contour, but since I did highlight this area with the banana powder and the concealer, I don't want it to be all super dark on this side and then super bright, because it's gonna look weird. I'm gonna put a little bit of, just kind of dust it everywhere. Really, whatever, with the little bit of product I do have left on my brush. For blush and highlight, I'm going to be using this Beauty For Real cream blush and highlight stick. On this side we have the highlight, which is High Beam, and then on this side we have the blush in the shade Coral Crush. For the blush, I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. small stipple brush, and I think that's the best way to apply any cream product. So I'm essentially just going to kind of dab it right there, swirl it, just get a lot of product on that. Just kind of gonna stipple that in, just really press it in. You don't want to just put on the apple of your cheeks because it is gonna just look, it's just gonna bring that part out. You really want to bring it in, basically blend it in with that bronzer. Okay, same on the other side. Now for the highlight, I'm going to be using that same brush, same technique, kind of blend that in, rub it in, get all that color in there, and I'm just going to stipple it back on. Just going to do it right above the blush. I do like a really intense highlight. I'm just going to bring it up right here. Gonna put some right on the tip of my nose, right down the bridge of it. Right on the Cupid's bow, it's gonna give you that nice pouty lip. A little bit on the chin, and then right above the eyebrows, just a little bit with whatever product I have left. Since I do like such an intense highlight, I am gonna basically set that cream highlight with a powder highlight. I'm gonna be using the L'Oreal Paris True Match Lumi in the shade Golden, and that's what this looks like. Using my Morphe M310 fan brush, I'm just kind of gonna swirl all those colors in. Gonna dust off that excess. I'm just gonna set that. This highlight is a little bit powdered, but I feel like when I do use it with a cream highlight, it really locks it in and it doesn't move around as much. And it's a very beautiful highlight as well, so. And I always love an intense highlight, so double the highlight is way better for me. Down the bridge of the nose, right on the tip. my Cupid's bow and then just dust that on the forehead. Perfect. Now for the eyes, I'm going to be using the Elizabeth Mott Thank Me Later eyeshadow primer. I'm just going to put a pea size right on my eyelid to really create a base and really have that eyeshadow stick and not budge. So once you have that primer on, you're going to want to set it. You can either set it with a translucent powder or an eyeshadow. So I'm just going to use the Tarte Smooth Operator Translucent Powder. I'm just going to get this fluffy brush, dust off the excess, and just kind of set that, because we don't want our eyeshadow to crease either. Since I do have my face done, to avoid any fallout, or if I do get any, to make it easier to wipe it off, using the same powder and a sponge, I'm going to grab it like that and place it right under my eye, right in that under eye area. So for whatever fallout I do end up having, once I'm done, I could just wipe off all that powder and all that eyeshadow without really messing up any of my foundation. Since it is spring, I want to kind of go ahead and create a spring look. So I'm going to be using the Morphe 35O palette, and I'm just going to grab this shade right here. I'm just going to put that in the crease as our transition shade. Dust off the excess. I'm just going to put that right in the crease. Now going in with this Bogacci's brush, I'm going to take this shade right here. This nice orangey shade. It's matte, so it's going to go right in the crease as well. But since it is very pigmented, I'm going to have a really, really light hand with it and just put it on the tip of it. The great thing about makeup is that if you do mess up, you could just wipe it off and start again. I'm actually going to go ahead, okay, and get this shade right here. I'm just going to dab just a little bit more because this is a little bit brighter. Just roll it in. Really tap off that excess. I am thinking of doing another spring tutorial with more of a teal blue, like keep the eye look very simple, then have like a really bright neon like waterline and just give it a nice pop of color. Okay, so the eye look looks really crazy right now, especially with the white under my eye, but I'm gonna go in with the Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette and going in with the shade Dirty Sweet. Okay, going in with my Luxie 211 concealer brush. It has this nice pointed tip. I'm gonna get my Urban Decay setting spray and I'm just gonna give it a spritz. And by doing that, it's gonna make the shade, the shadow a lot more intense and a lot more metallic-y and pigmented. So I'm just gonna pack that on right on the lid. First, I'm gonna press it into it, and I'm just gonna kind of swipe it in. with no additional product, whatever you have left on that brush, I'm just gonna blend those two shades together and make it look a lot more seamless, because we aren't doing a cut crease. So now that I'm done with the eyeshadow, I'm gonna take this really big fluffy brush by e.l.f. I'm just gonna wipe away all of that whiteness. Now going in with my Physicians Formula Shimmer Eyes, shimmer strips in the shade Warm Nude Eyes. I'm just gonna place this nice brown coppery shade right in the lower lash line. And then we're gonna go in with this nice brown shade next to that orange we used. And we're gonna put that right on our lower lash line to smoke out that shade, the eyeliner we just put. Now for eyeliner, I'm gonna use the Revlon Color Stay Skinny and Blackout, and we're just gonna do a nice wing. Please, I did my eyeliner off camera, and I also have a tutorial on how I do my eyeliner, and that's also gonna be linked down in the description box below. For mascara, I'm gonna be using Benefit's They're Real Mascara. If I can open it. And now for lips, we're gonna be using Ofra Cosmetics and Kathleen Light's liquid lipstick in the shade Miami Fever, and it's a nice burnt orange. And we're just gonna put that on our lip. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this makeup tutorial. Please let me know if you want to see a prom makeup tutorial or another spring makeup tutorial in the description box below. That way I kind of have more of an idea of what you guys would like to see. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!